Okay, this is this thug returning that came to our home and started a fight with me when I came out onto our property and was going to stand in our yard where we usually do. And I've called in dispatch and police to let them know when I'm going to patrol our home. And this individual who came to our home and started a fight with us, now he's not so demanding that he needs to use our sidewalk, and we never had a problem with that. What we had a problem with is when we came outside to of our home to stand in our yard, this individual exploded on me and started to say that I was harassing him. And I never said word one to him. Never said one word to him. Well, I may have looked his way, but then once that happened, he gave himself away. And you know what happens when you look at somebody and they take offense to it? That's prison mentality. That's prison mindset. We've studied a good number of situations because we are criminologists, behavioral analysts, and profilers. Our specialty is in corporate private investigations and bounty hunting. And this individual who basically went into a rage just because I looked at him when I stepped out my door, that right there is telling you that this individual is more than likely an ex-con and has an extensive criminal history. And then when he exploded on me, which I have the video captured and showed the police, which they took no action of, it pretty much let me know that what we surmised and came to a conclusion after analyzing what I've just stated to be fact. These individuals again here, it's a federally funded entity, 341, no management on duty due to death threats. It's a Section 8 with individuals who have fly-by-night histories and problems with society. They're malcontents, not to mention troublemakers. Then you have the home for the mentally ill, which we have a good number of schizophrenics and sociopaths that pour out also. And come to terrorize us. The only thing is that they're in their own different world. They're in their own planet. And then we have the halfway house for released convicts. And this is a situation where this is never going to end because we asked if they could put up right there from right to left, put up a fence and block that street off and shut the apartment complex away from the residential homes here, because all they do is spill out each and every day, either to come out. See, now here he is again. See now, why is he coming and going? Here he is right there. See, here he comes again. And what he went and did is what we're pretty much assessing. Is that he went home to get a gun. Now, we were busy in here retrieving everything on video so that way when the cops arrive, as you can see, he has no sense of urgency. See, he's hanging around our home. And this is a convict, or excuse me, a criminal. Now, so there he is right there, and you can barely see it now. Again, we haven't had a chance to adjust the surveillance systems. Each night is a different situation. And he's come back. See, there he is. Now, he likes to dress in black. Now, you can see from, see, he's not going from point A to point B. He's here to continue tormenting our family. He's participating in terrorizing us. He is basically going to continue the intimidation harassment of our family. We're in danger, and authorities will do nothing about it. Now, I know this video is carrying on a little longer than I had expected it to. I want to try to catch where he came in at first, and there he is right there. Now, it isn't until he gets across the street where I lose him. Again, I'm using a hand cam that's standing in front of a monitor. And the situation is that, there he is right there. You can barely see him. And then that's when he crosses over into, there he is right there. Again, we're repeating and stating, see, he has no sense of urgency. He's here intentionally to carry out what we are easily identifying to be a continuation of tormenting us and harassing us, projecting his image of placing us in fear of our lives. And the authorities are doing nothing about it. You watched it yourself. He reappeared again after he came by from left to right to go what we thought was going back to his dwelling where he's being harbored, and then he reappeared again. That shows right there intent. That's criminal intent to intimidate, harass, stalk, and terrorize us. That's also committing hate crimes against our family because our parents' home, this is her home. She's 93 years old, and this is a continuation of where police are not taking any action. And we have to keep an eye on everyone that comes around us because everybody here is all gangster or illegal alien now. And they're all recruited. Even the fresh arrivals are recruited and turned against us right there. And that's why, because we were lured into the neighborhood watch only to get left to fend for ourselves. And also stopping the criminal activity that these thugs were behind. And they didn't want anybody messing with their cash cows, so that's why they retaliated against us also. We didn't allow drug dealing in front of our house, pimping prostitutes, or selling guns, or changing counterfeit dollars in front of our house. And they, from what we have been told by informants in the area, that nobody's ever stood up to them. You're the only one who's ever done that, and they've got you marked for death. And they're trying to hurt your family because they know they can't get to you, so that's what they're trying to do. And that's why we come out legally heavily armed. We don't come outside for anything unless we're legally heavily armed. In the past, we used to get trapped on the front yards and have the same thing happen, and we were defenseless. And even then, we would stand our ground and let these people know, why are you at our house? What did we do to you? We don't know you. Why are you here tormenting us? Why are you here trying to place us in fear for our lives? It's because this is what Section 8's like. This is what halfway house for release convicts is like. This is what home for the mentally ill is like. They're dumped into neighborhoods like this where they think everybody is uneducated and isn't well spoken. Little did they know, my background, along with my teammates, or excuse me, team members, was that of corporate private investigation and bounty hunters. And so we're going to continue to onward and capture when the police arrive. No, wait, here he comes again, see? See, there he is again. See? Now you're watching, you're witnessing the individual continues to reappear. We're going to switch over to the bottom one. And see, he's basically just hanging around the foot of our home. He hasn't crossed over yet. The reason we're not recording the upper section is because I haven't had a chance to. So there he is right there. See? See? No sense of urgency. He's not going back home to his dwelling. He's out here basically stalking our homes, waiting for any of us to come out. And that's one of the reasons we have under our rights to legally come out with our arms to protect our lives, because they will kill you if they get a chance. You know it because you're seeing the reports of everyone getting killed in their front yards or backyards, getting shot to death, because gangsters like this that the police are allowing to roam our streets continue to do so. You just witnessed him go back. Now, I guarantee if I was to hang with this, he's going to reappear. But I just don't have any more time, and I don't have any more battery power left. And I've got to make sure I transfer everything over to be able to post on the social media site, so that way I can expose this individual and then use it as a tool to show that San Antonio is allowing things like this to happen to innocent families. And that's why everybody's falling victims to the fresh arrivals of thugs. This individual, from what we've also been told, he was sent. He didn't just appear out of the blue. And every time he shows up, he's wearing the same clothes. For the last month, he's been wearing over and over the same clothes. That right there is a sign that he's being harbored. He doesn't have any fresh change of clothes. He's always wearing the same exact apparel. And you can see from what you yourself witnessing, he just keeps appearing for no other reason at all, and we can guarantee you that he has a gun, but it wasn't for the fact that I had come in to call the police and then start recording everything on this surveillance system as the other three are going. I guarantee we would have probably gotten into some kind of a situation where I would have had no choice but to defend myself legally with my sidearms and also my shotgun. And we've called in police dispatchers before to let them know we're coming outside and we're gonna under our rights patrol our properties. We have no choice. We're tired of slashed tires and bashed up windshields and attempts made on our lives. Our family members have been accosted on their front yards. They've been followed to work. They used to do the same thing to me. I got trapped inside grocery stores with illegal alien gangsters, one on each end of the grocery aisle, and thought I was going to have to get into a situation where I was going to be forced to draw my sidearms under my rights because the reports I've given to police, no action is taken, and it's all coming from the apartment complex and the used car lot that recruits all these thugs to come at us. Again, we're going to post this on social media and let the world know what's happening to us. See, there's always something going on. It used to be elbow to elbow activity. Now it doesn't happen that way anymore. It's all in strategic burst waves. See, this individual has no sense of urgency. See? More individuals. It's nonstop. And they're supposed to stay put. Again, when you're on Section 8, you have different rules to live by. You don't get to sit there and when cops tell you, no, they have the right to come out and they can go wherever they want, and that's not the way it works with Section 8. They have totally different ordinances, they have different regulations to abide by. They're on our dime, and they have to stay in their dwelling. As a matter of fact, on cases we were on before, apartment complexes have strict rules for anyone who rents from them. You're not allowed to go out to your parking lot. You're not allowed to work on your car unless it's a flat tire or a dead battery. Other than that, you cannot work on your car. You cannot congregate outside. You cannot do anything outside unless the apartment complex has a gym or workout area in the center of the complex with a pool, and that's the only time you're allowed. Other than that, if it doesn't have it, you're not allowed to come out of your complex for any reason whatsoever, and that's just apartment rules. Most of the apartment complexes that you'll find, they don't have any place where you can come out and walk around. You just can't, but this one does because it's got open perimeter, and these people feel like they've got rights. Well, if you were a law-abiding citizen who is renting one of these apartments, which they're not open to the public. It's all Section 8. Now, they'll tell you it's open to the public, but the only ones that will end up arriving are going to be Section 8, and then they'll stuff more halfway house release convicts and more individuals that are mentally ill, schizophrenics and sociopaths. So as much as they'd like to tell you, okay, see here we have looks like another incident occurring. See, and it's just nonstop. They all come out one after the other. See, now that dog's not just appearing out of the blue for nothing. And it's just a constructive continuation of harassment, intimidation, stalking, and terrorizing of our families. And these individuals will tell you that they have a right to come here. See? Now, this is the dog that's tried to almost attack me. And this is the same dog that'll come onto the property and attack our cats, which we have to have cats because right there on the other side of those bushes, there's 2 dumpsters. You've got the biggest rats you've ever seen. You could almost mistake them for possums. They're that fat and healthy. So you can see here, now we got strays. And when the police arrived, all these strays appeared out of nowhere. The cops didn't do a darn thing about it. Not one thing. And again, this is how we end up having to endure what is allowed to happen. See, this is a stray, and it's the same dog. He almost attacked me, and the only reason he didn't is because I raised my shotgun up. And when he saw the thing, see, there they go, urinating on our property. There's an ordinance against that. And this is the same dog who's rushed up and tried to kill our cats. And you can see he's got a collar on him. He's intentionally cut loose. And this is how the illegals do it. I don't know, because we used to see that as children. They used to cut all their dogs loose at night. And there was a reason that I'll get into later if you want to hear about it. See? This is where we drop off. The battery's flashing.